I'm sure some of you here might have seen me speak about Off the Map before, so I'm not going to try to cover too much old ground, but I will give a bit of an overview for those of you that don't know about the competition. So I'm starting with this slide here, and this is the National Video Game Arcade. This is open in Nottingham. This opened in March this year. If you're interested in the history of video games and want to play some heritage video games, then I do urge you to go up to Nottingham and check this out. It is a fascinating place. And Off the Map is a partnership project with Game City, which is the annual festival that takes place at October half term every year. And the festival now takes place in this building. Previously, it would take place in venues all across the city, but then Game City got their own building, which you can see. So why run Off the Map? It's a very good question. So this is a new type of collaboration for the British Library, and a bit like how you've seen in other presentations today, really the digital scholarship team in the library, we're looking at how digital content can be used in innovative and creative new ways. And we're looking at how to engage with new audiences, and also specifically with this competition, it's an opportunity for students to showcase their talents to the creative industries. So there's a number of good reasons for running this. People here might have seen, so we've run this competition since 2013. The first winner was Pudding Lane Productions from De Montfort University in Leicester, and many of you might have seen their game, which is an explorable London from the 17th century. There's not much gameplay in it, but it's a vast, vast space, and you can walk through London. But I've shown that before in other talks, so I'm not going to show you the video now. Last year for 2014, we had a Gothic theme to go with the Gothic exhibition that we had, and the winning game was by from University of South Wales with their game Nix, where you chase glowing orbs and you rebuild a building called Fonthill Abbey, which was the home of author William Beckford. So I'm just running through a few previous examples of other winners before going on to this year. And again, I'm not going to show footage of that, but it's up on YouTube. If you search for Off the Map and Nix, then you should find that. So for 2015, we were thinking, well, what theme should we have? And we quickly decided on Alice, because this year's the 150th anniversary of the publication of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. So we thought we'd have the competition on that theme. We've got an exhibition opening soon, and also we thought it was a really playful, fun theme that the students would enjoy. The British Library, as many of you will know, we've got the original manuscript that Lewis Carroll wrote, and he did these illustrations himself. So before the iconic Tenniel illustrations that you just saw an example on the previous slide, we actually have, these are the illustrations done by Lewis Carroll, and this is one of the treasures of the British Library. So, as in previous years, we picked 3 sub-themes. For this year, we picked Oxford, Underground and Gardens, and I'll show you some content. So we call the digitised content that we provide to the students, we call it the asset packs, because in the games industry, they often call the digital items that they make the assets and packs of assets, so we use the same lingo. Or try to. So for Oxford, we picked some wonderful content. You can see, so this image here, this is actually a pocket-sized item, but obviously it's hard to see the scale looking at a slide this size. So this is the railway travellers walk through Oxford. And this is really when tourism became popular and people were going for days out. And then you can see this is Christ Church College, Oxford. Beautiful, beautiful engraving from the 17th century. For Underground, we picked an assortment of content. I just thought I'd show you one of them. This is an illustration of a volcano, or someone's understanding of what underneath a volcano might have looked like. So this is from the 17th century. We quite like these crazy interpretations of what it might be like in the chambers underneath a volcano. And we also picked gardens, and again, gardens are very central in the Alice story, and we've got this wonderful collection of hand watercoloured Dutch gardens. We picked a number of these and digitised them, made them available to the students. So the winning team is Team Off Our Rockers with their game The Wandering Lands of Alice, and this is a still from the game that we've got here. What we really liked about this game, and I'll show you a clip in a minute because it's much better to see a clip of the game rather than have me describe it, but they built their world, the game world, out of British Library objects. So you can see the spines of books, you can see manuscript pages, and we also really liked some of the characters are like Victorian kind of paper theatre, as you can see with the rabbit here. So I'm just going to show you, and this is what the team looked like. This is a hot off the press photo from the award event from last Thursday, which I kind of slotted into my presentation this morning. So this is the team. They were really delighted. They'd got no idea that they'd won, and they were really kind of very surprised when it was announced last week. And I will show you a clip. I should probably also mention they'd made their Alice look like the real Alice. So we have photographs of the real Alice Liddell, and they made their Alice character look like the actual real Alice and not like a Disney interpretation of Alice, which again impressed the judges. Heard the hooting of the owl. We also give them sound files, and I know my colleague who is curator of the wildlife and mechanical sounds in the library, Cheryl, is in the audience, so you heard the tweeting of the owl. That was from our collections, and there you can see the picture of the real Alice that they made their character from. I will show, if I've got time to show some brief clips of the other ones. So the standard of the entries was really, really high this year, and second place was an individual entry. This wasn't a team, and Chris Lonsdale, who made this entry, he made everything in this world. It was really, really impressive, and I'll show you some of this. A bit like the Pudding Lane entry, this is an explorable environment, an explorable interactive environment rather than a game. But it's like a garden that's been left to go a bit unattended and derelict, and you explore it. It's called Alice's Garden. I'll just show you a bit more. I don't want to overrun because I know I'll affect the whole afternoon schedule if I show too much. And the third place is a game called A Curious Feeling. This game is quite interesting. The team made their environment of lots of little floating islands, and you can jump between the islands by walking through these doorways. So if anyone's played the game Portal, it's a bit like Alice's Adventures in Wonderland meets Portal, but quite fun. And the floating hats, part of the game is you have to climb and jump from objects to collect the hatter's hats for him. So those clips are all up on YouTube, and also the games will be playable in the Alice exhibition, which opens later this month. I just wanted to mention the new competition. So at the awards event last week, we announced the next off the map for 2016, even though we're not in 2016 yet. It's to give the students a long enough period of time to make their games. So next year it's all going to be about Shakespeare. If folks are interested in Shakespeare, another big anniversary coming up, and we've picked the three themes for the students to make their games. So castles, so thinking of Hamlet and Macbeth, and ghosts and murder, the Tempest, so island environments including Bermuda. In Shakespeare's time they thought devils lived on Bermuda, and we've got these period maps from that time. And then a more playful fun theme is forest, woodlands and A Midsummer Night's Dream. So we're thinking kind of nice fantastical fairy natural environments. So we're really hopeful to see what next year's entries are going to be like. If you've got students who might want to take part in this, or if you are students in full-time education in the UK, we also encourage interactive fiction and text adventure entries as well. So although the games I've just shown you have been very visual 3D games, we do invite other types of game entry as well. And I've put the URL there. The closing date is the 6th of June, so there's quite a lot of time to make an entry. And that's me. So yeah, if you want to play the games, come along to the exhibition. And if you want to make games about Shakespeare and you're a full-time student, then please do come and have a chat with me or check out the website. Thank you.